Is it doing it? Wait, I think. All right. Yeah, we got it going. We're all good. Just gonna check my. Actually, no, never mind. Okay, so one random day in 2020 in the summer, I decided that I was going to read the entire terms and conditions of iOS 13.7. And I did. I spent like 2 hours reading the entire thing, nonstop. The next year, on Thanksgiving, I decided to do the same thing with Windows 11. And then the next year, I decided to do the same thing with macOS 13.1. And so I'm thinking like this year we try that again. So without further ado, here is reading the entire terms and conditions of watchOS 10.2 beta 3 nonstop. This is like, yeah, this is 12 pages almost packed to the brim with this is almost 12 pages packed to the brim with font size 10 text. Just look at these. So, okay. You know what? I'm gonna go get some water, and then we'll start. Okay, I'm here. Let's go ahead and do this. Okay, I'm gonna spend, I'm assuming 90 minutes. I'm actually gonna put a stopwatch over here so that I can kind of time myself and see when I stop and when I start and when I finish. Okay, ready? Three, two, one. English. Important. By using your Apple Watch, you are agreeing to be bound by the following terms. A. Apple watchOS software license agreement. B. Apple Pay supplemental terms and conditions. C. Notices from Apple. Apple Inc. Apple watchOS software license agreement. Single use license. Please read the software license agreement license carefully before using your Apple Watch or downloading the software update accompanying this license. By using your Apple Watch or downloading a software update as applicable, you are agreeing to be bound by the terms of this license. If you do not agree to the terms of this license, do not use the Apple Watch or download the software update. Do not! Okay. If you have recently purchased an Apple Watch and you do not agree to the terms of the license, you may return the Apple Watch within the return period to the Apple Store or authorized distributor where you obtained it for a refund, subject to Apple's return policy found at https://www.apple.com/legal/sales-policies/ period. 1. General. The software, including boot ROM code, embedded software, and third-party software, documentation, interfaces, content, fonts, and any data that came with your Apple Watch original watchOS software, as may be updated or replaced by feature enhancements, software updates, or system restore software provided by Apple, watchOS software updates, whether in read-only memory or on any other media in any other form. The original watchOS software and watchOS software updates are collectively referred to as the watchOS software, are licensed, not sold to you by Apple Inc. Apple for use only under the terms of this license. Apple and its licensors retain ownership of the watchOS software itself and reserve all rights not expressly granted to you. You agree that the terms of this license will apply to any Apple branded app that may be pre-installed on your Apple Watch, unless such app is accompanied by a separate license, in which case you agree that the terms of this license will govern your use of that app. I'm just checking if my live stream is working. Okay, it is. B. Apple, at its discretion, may make available future watchOS software updates for your Apple Watch. What do you mean, may? Like, oh wait, no, because they're talking about older models. So, like, for the Series 1, they made some updates, and then watchOS, I think it was, yeah, watchOS 7 came out, and the Series 1 or 2 didn't get it. Yeah, but at its discretion. That's what we don't like. That's why there's so many leaks on that's why there's so many videos on, ooh, what's the next iOS gonna be like and stuff. Okay. The watchOS software updates, if any, may not necessarily include all existing software features or new features that Apple releases for newer or other models of Apple Watch. The terms of this license will govern any watchOS software updates provided by Apple that replace and/or supplement the original watchOS software product, unless such watchOS software update is accompanied by a separate license, in which case the terms of that license will govern. Good lord. If you use the Express Setup feature to set up a new Apple Watch based on your existing Apple Watch, you agree that the terms of this license will govern your use of the watchOS software on your new Apple Watch unless it is accompanied by a separate license, in which case you agree that the terms of that license will govern your use of that watchOS software. If you choose to allow automatic watchOS software updates, your Apple Watch will periodically check with Apple for updates to the watchOS software, and if one is available, the update may automatically download and install onto your Apple Watch. By using the watchOS software, you agreed that Apple may download and install automatic watchOS software updates onto your Apple Watch. You can turn off automatic updates altogether at any time by changing the automatic update settings found within the Apple Watch app into General Software Update on the paired device or Settings General Software Update on your Apple Watch. All right, we finished the first page. I'm feeling pretty hopeful. Okay. 2. Permitted license uses and restrictions. A. Subject to the terms and conditions of this license, you are granted a limited, non-exclusive license to use the watchOS software on a single Apple Watch, except as permitted in Section 2B below, and except as provided in a separate agreement between you and Apple. This license does not allow the watchOS software to exist on more than one Apple Watch at a time. Wait, hold on. Hold on, wait. Except as permitted in Section 2B below, the license does not allow the watchOS software to exist on more than one Apple Watch at a time? What? Wait, hold on. So, so are they saying that watchOS can only be on a single Apple Watch in the entire world and not on two? And you can pair two Apple Watches to the same account now. So, okay, maybe Section 2B will say something. I don't know. And you may not distribute or make the watchOS software available over a network where it could be used by multiple devices at the same time. This does not grant you any rights to use Apple proprietary interfaces and other intellectual property in the design, development, manufacture, licensing, or distribution of third-party devices and accessories, or third-party software applications for use with the Apple Watch. Some of those rights are available under separate licenses from Apple. For more information on developing third-party devices and accessories for Apple Watch, please visit https://developer.apple.com/. No, I gotta read that perfectly. https://developer.apple.com. No, https://developer.apple.com/programs/mfi/. For more information on developing software applications for Apple Watch, please visit https://developer.apple.com. B. Subject to the terms and conditions of this license, you are granted a limited, non-exclusive license to download watchOS software updates that may be made available by Apple for your model of the Apple Watch to update or restore the software on any such Apple Watch that you own or control. This license does not allow you to update or restore any Apple Watch that you do not control or own, and you may not distribute or make the watchOS software updates available over a network where they could be used by multiple devices or multiple computers at the same time. Okay, wait. So, are you saying, okay, wait. This license does not allow you to update or restore any Apple Watch that you do not control or own. So, if I want to update my friend's Apple Watch to watchOS 10.1.1, let's say, because they're on watchOS 9, I don't have permission to do that based on the terms and conditions. Because, well, I do. What does that "you do not control" mean? Because I can't control everything on that person's watch, but I can control some things. Like, I can choose to update their watch, but I can't reset it. So, and restore any Apple Watch that you do not own. I wouldn't own my friend's Apple Watch. My friend would own their Apple Watch. So, I've basically lost permission to update my friend's watches, which means that until they do it, they're going to be stuck on an inferior software version. Or maybe there's another meaning and I'm just too stupid to know it. You may not, and you. Okay, Section C. You may not, and you agree. I had a brain fart. C. You may not, and you agree not to, or enable others to copy, except as expressly permitted by this license, decompile, reverse engineer, disassemble, attempt to derive the source code of, decrypt, modify, or create derivative works of the watchOS software or any services provided by the watchOS software or any part thereof, except as and only to the extent any foregoing restriction is prohibited by the what just happened. Hold on a second. It looks like everything's working. All right. Now, except as an only to the extent any foregoing restriction is prohibited by applicable or by license terms governing use of open source components that may include the watch software. You are not to remove, obscure, or alter any proprietary notices, including trademark and copyright notices that may be affixed to or contained within the watchOS software. D. The watchOS software may be used to reproduce material so long as such is limited to reproduction of non-copyrighted materials. Materials in which you own the copyright or materials you are authorized or legally permitted to reproduce. Notwithstanding the foregoing, prohibited from publishing, transmitting, or reproducing the images accessed through maps as a standalone file. Title and intellectual property rights in and any content displayed by, report on, or access their Apple Watch belong to the respective content owner. Such content may be protected by copyright or other intellectual property laws and treaties. It may be subject to terms of use. Third party provide such content to access other provided herein. The license does not grant you any rights to use such content, nor does it guarantee that such content will continue to be available to you. B. You agree to use the watch software and the services as defined in Section 5 below in compliance with all applicable laws, including local laws of the country or region in which you reside or in which you download or use watch software services. Features of the watchOS software and the services may not be available in all languages or regions. Some features may not be available or may vary based on age and region. Now the audio is broken. What do you what do you mean? It broke. I don't think it broke it, unless it is. Technical difficulties, excuse me for a moment. Technical difficulties, excuse me for a moment. Okay, hold on. Okay, is it good now? I hope it is. Okay, alright. Let's see, give me some suggestions. Alright, so apparently we're good. Alright, let's keep on going. First, I'm going to acknowledge some live chat comments. Okay, good old memes, yes sir. WW, appreciated. Um, oh, dude! Happy Turkey Day! Gobble, gobble, gobble. Yes, it is very turkey. Yes, why watch the parade when there's this? Now he's escaping his webcam circle thing. Thank you to Presenter Overlay for making me able to escape my circle. This is brilliant. Okay, cool. Let's continue reading. Section F. Use of the App Store requires a unique user. Wait, did I finish Section E? No, I don't think I did. Section E. You agree to use the watchOS software and the services as defined in Section 5 below in compliance with all applicable laws, including local laws of the country or region in which you reside, or in which you download or use the watchOS software and services. Features of the watchOS software and the services may not be available in all languages or regions. Some features may not be available or may vary based on age or region, and some may be restricted or unavailable from your service provider. A Bluetooth connection to a supported Apple-branded device, paired device with Wi-Fi or cellular data connection is required for some features of the watchOS software and services. Bam! Nailed that. Okay. Section F. Use of the App Store requires a unique username and password combination known as an Apple ID. Wow, that's amazing. An Apple ID is also required to download apps, access updates, and certain features of the watchOS software and services. In addition, in not addiction, in addition, you acknowledge that many features and services of the watchOS software transmit and receive data, including app downloads and updates, and could impact charges to your data plan. Accordingly, you are responsible for any such charges. You can control which applications are permitted to use cellular data. How are you traveling to the future, Evan? That's very concerning. Okay. Accordingly, you are responsible for any such charges. You can control which applications are permitted to use cellular data and view an estimate of how much data such applications have consumed under cellular data settings. For more information, please consult the user guide for your Apple Watch. Section G. No, G. If automatic app installs is enabled, apps on the paired device that also work with Apple Watch will automatically install and appear on the home screen of your Apple Watch. You can turn off automatic app installs on your Apple Watch by completing the following steps. On the paired device, go to Watch App, tap General, and turn off automatic app install. If automatic app downloads is enabled, new app purchases made on Apple Watch for the paired device may automatically download to these devices. You can turn off automatic app downloads on your Apple Watch by completing either of the following options. I on the paired device go to one on the paired device go to Watch app, tap My Watch, tap on App Store, and turn off automatic downloads. Or two on your Apple Watch go to Settings, tap App Store, and turn off automatic downloads. If automatic app updates is enabled, updates to apps on Apple Watch or the paired device may automatically download to these devices when available. You can turn off automatic update. You can turn off automatic app updates on your Apple Watch by completing either of the following options. One, on the paired device, go to Watch app, tap My Watch, tap on App Store, and turn off automatic updates. Or two, on your Apple Watch, go to Settings, tap App Store, and turn off automatic updates. H. Using Apple Watch in some circumstances can distract you and may cause a dangerous situation. For example, avoid typing text messages while driving a car or using headphones while riding a bicycle. I I wear AirPods in I like to wear AirPods while riding my bike in my neighborhood and near my neighborhood. But I guess based on the terms and conditions, I can't do that anymore. I can't jam to my favorite tunes while biking. This- Apple killed such a fun part of my life. No. Okay. By using Apple Watch, you agree that you are responsible for observing rules that prohibit or restrict the use of mobile phones or headphones, for example, the requirement to use hands-free options for making calls when driving. I. Apple Watch is not a medical device and should not be used as a substitute for professional medical judgment. It is not designed or intended for use in the diagnosis of disease or other conditions, or in the cure, mitigation, treatment, or prevention of any condition or disease. Please consult your please consult your healthcare provider prior to making any decisions related to your health. J. God, how many subsections are there? J. Before starting or modifying any exercise program using Apple Watch, consult your physician. Be careful and attentive while exercising. Stop exercising immediately if you feel pain or feel faint, dizzy, exhausted, or short of breath. By exercising, you assume inherent risks, including any injury that may result from such activity. If you have any medical condition that you believe could be affected by Apple Watch, for example, seizures, blackouts, eye strain, or headaches, consult with your physician prior to using Apple Watch. K. Certain features of the watchOS software may attempt to provide assistance in safety-related situations, such as any safety-related detection feature and connecting you to emergency services as available. Apple does not guarantee the availability, accuracy, completeness, reliability, or timeliness of such features, which basically means that the ECG and the blood oxygen feature could work, but they may not be good. Weird. It's nice and sunny outside. There's not a single cloud in the sky. It's so perfect. These features are not intended to be solely relied upon in situations where more immediate or effective help is available and may be obtained. You agree to use these features at your sole risk and exercise independent judgment, and that Apple, its affiliates, agents, or principals shall have no liability to you for your use of these features and any resulting consequences to the maximum extent permitted by law. Okay. L. Subject to the terms and conditions of this license, you may use the emoji characters included in or created with the Apple software system characters, 1, while running the Apple software, and 2, to create your own original content and projects for your personal, non commercial use. No other use of the system characters is permitted by this license, including but not limited to the use, reproduction, display, performance, recording, publishing, or redistribution of any of the system characters in a profit, non-profit, public sharing, or commercial context. So, if I wanted to, I could make my profile picture an emoji and face no consequences, which is great, but also I have no desire to make my characters emojis. Emoji. I can't think right now. Okay. 3. Transfer. You may not rent, lease, lend, sell, redistribute, or sublicense the watchOS software. You may, however, make a one-time permanent transfer of all your license rights to the watchOS software to another party in connection with the transfer of ownership of your Apple Watch, provided that A, the transfer must include your Apple Watch and all of the watchOS software, including all its component parts and this license. B, you do not retain any copies of the watchOS software, full or partial, including copies stored on a computer or other storage device. And C, the party receiving the watchOS software reads and agrees to accept the terms and conditions of this license. 4. Consent to use of data. watchOS software features may require information from your Apple Watch to provide the respective functions. When you turn on or use these features, details will be provided regarding what information is sent to Apple and how the information may be used. You can learn more by visiting https://www.apple.com/privacy/period. At all times, your information will be treated in accordance with Apple's privacy policy, which can be viewed at privacy/period. Why did I get this notification for OBS notifications? Did something happen? No. I I think we're all good. I hope we're all good. Okay, let's get back to this. Service 5. Services and third-party materials. A. The watchOS software may enable access to Apple's iTunes Store, App Store, iCloud, Maps, News, Fitness Plus. This means that this was definitely updated after 2020. And other Apple and third-party services and websites collectively and individually services. Such services may not be available in all languages or in all countries. Use of these services requires internet access, and use of certain services may require an Apple ID and may require you to accept additional terms and may be subject to additional fees. By using the software in connection with an Apple ID or other Apple service, you agree to the applicable terms of service for that service, such as the latest Apple Media Services terms and conditions for the country in which you access such services, which you may access and review at https://www.apple.com/legal/internet-services/itunes/period. That's got to be one of the longest, most complicated sentences I've ever read. Unless I've read something longer, but like by using the software in connection with an Apple ID or other Apple services, you agree to the applicable terms of service for that service, and you're not even done with half the sentence. B. If you sign up for iCloud, certain iCloud features like My Photo Stream and shared albums. Okay, just checking. Was the feature that Apple discontinued this summer My Photo Stream? Yep. Yep, it is. Give me a moment. Okay, so we're still back. All right, let's go ahead. So June 26, 2023, Apple just said, "Yep, bye-bye my photo stream. You're getting killed." So certain iCloud features like My Photo Stream and shared albums may be accessed directly from the watchOS software, but My Photo Stream is dead, which means that this has not been updated for 2023. Okay. You acknowledge and agree that your use of iCloud and these features is subject to the latest terms and conditions of the iCloud service, which you may access and review at https://www.apple.com/legal/internet services/iCloud. No, wait, I didn't read that right. https://www.apple.com/legal/internet-services/iCloud/period. C. Maps. The service features of the watchOS software maps, including map data coverage, may vary by region. When you turn on or use maps, details will be provided regarding what information is sent to Apple and how the information may be used. Certain information will be processed by Apple in accordance with Apple's privacy policy. For more information, visit https://www.apple.com/legal/privacy/data/en/apple-maps. Period. They didn't include a slash there. Ooh. Okay. You can disable the location-based functionality of maps by going to settings slash privacy. No. Settings, into privacy, into location services, into maps on the paired device, or if using the Apple Watch through family setup using the watchOS software. Certain maps features will be unavailable if you disable the setting. You acknowledge and agree that your use of maps is subject to the latest terms and conditions of the map service, which you may access and review by scrolling to the bottom of the screen when you open maps on your Apple Watch. All right, can I access the maps um terms and conditions? See, scroll down, go to maps. How do I scroll to the bottom of the screen? Oh, okay, so I have to click on search and then scroll to the bottom of the screen, and there's the terms and conditions. I can just access the terms and conditions website directly from my watch. There you go, take a look at that. That took a long time. Okay. D. You understand that by using any of the services, you may encounter content that may be deemed offensive, indecent, or objectionable, which content may or may not be identified as having explicit language, and that the results of any search may automatically and unintentionally generate links or references to objectionable material. Nevertheless, you agree to use the services at your sole risk, and that Apple, its affiliates, agents, principals, or licensors shall have no liability to you for content that may be found to be offensive, indecent, or objectionable. E. Certain services may display, include, or make available content, data, information, applications, or, all right, page 5, materials from third parties, third party materials, or provide links to certain third party websites. By using the services, you acknowledge and agree that Apple is not responsible for examining or evaluating the content, accuracy, completeness, timeliness, validity, copyright compliance, legality, decency, quality, or any other aspect of such third party materials or websites. Apple, its officers, affiliates, and subsidiaries do not warrant or endorse and do not assume and will not have any liability or responsibility to you or any other person for any third party services, third party materials, or websites, or for any other materials, products, or services of third parties. Third party materials and links to other websites are provided solely as a convenience to you. F. Neither Apple nor any of its content providers guarantees the availability, accuracy, completeness, reliability, or timeliness of stock information, location data, or any other data displayed by any services. Financial information displayed by any services is for general information purposes only and should not be relied upon as investment advice. Before executing any securities transaction based upon information obtained through the services, you should consult with a financial or securities professional who is legally qualified to give financial or securities advice in your country or region. Location data provided by any services, including the Apple Map service, is provided for basic navigational and planning purposes only, and is not intended to be relied upon in situations where precise location information is needed or where erroneous, inaccurate, time delayed, or incomplete location data may lead to death, personal injury, or property or environmental damage. You agree that the results you receive from the map service may vary from actual road or terrain conditions due to factors that can affect the accuracy of the map's data, such as, but not limited to, weather, road and traffic conditions, and geopolitical events. Oh god, my mouth is hurting. This, but hey, no pain, no gain, right? For your safety when using the navigation features, always pay attention to posted road signs and current road conditions. Follow safe driving practices and traffic regulations, and note that cycling and walking directions may not include designated pathways. To the extent that you upload any content through the use of the services, you represent that you own all rights in or have authorization or are otherwise legally permitted to upload such content and that such content does not violate any terms of service applicable to the services. You agree that the services contain proprietary content, information, and material that is owned by Apple, the site owner and slash or their licensors, and is protected by applicable intellectual property and other laws, including but not limited to copyright. You agree that you will not use such proprietary content, information, or materials other than for permitted use of the services or in any manner that is inconsistent with the terms of this license or that infringes any intellectual property rights of a third party or Apple. No portion of the services may be reproduced in any form or by any means. You agree not to modify, rent, lease, loan, sell, distribute, or create derivative workspace on the services in any manner, and you shall not exploit the services in any unauthorized way whatsoever, including but not limited to using the services to transmit any computer viruses, worms, Trojan horses, or other malware, or by trespass or burdening network capacity. You further agree not to use the services in any manner to harass, abuse, stalk, threaten, defame, or otherwise infringe or violate the rights of any other party, and that Apple is not in any way responsible for any such use by you, nor for any harassing, threatening, defamatory, offensive, or infringing or illegal messages or transmissions that you may receive as a result of using any of the services. Good to know. H. In addition, services and third party materials that may be accessed, linked to, or displayed on the Apple Watch are not available in all languages or in all countries or regions. Apple makes no representation that such services and third party materials are appropriate or available for use in any particular location. To the extent you choose to use or access such services and third party materials, you do so at your own initiative and are responsible for compliance with any applicable laws, including but not limited to applicable local laws and privacy and data collection laws. Sharing or syncing photos through your Apple Watch may cause metadata, including photo location data. I did not ask you, Siri, to get invoked. Okay. Sharing or syncing photos through your Apple Watch may cause metadata, including photo location data, to be transmitted with the photos. Apple and its licensors reserve the right to suspend, remove, or disable access to any services at any time without notice. In no event will Apple be liable for the removal of or disabling of any of access to any such services. Apple may also impose limits on the use of or access to certain services in any case and without notice or liability. Thanks. Okay. Oh wait, no. Is there more? No, that's the end of the fifth page. There's not another sentence that goes on. Okay, page 6 of 12. 6. Termination. This license is effective until terminated. Your rights under this license will terminate automatically or otherwise cease to be effective without notice from Apple if you fail to comply with any terms of this license. Upon the termination of this license, you shall seize all use of the watchOS software. Sections 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, and 12 of this license shall survive any such termination. 7. Disclaimer of warranties. 7.1. If you are a customer who is a consumer, someone who uses the watchOS software outside of your trade, business, or profession, you may have legal rights in your country of residence which would prohibit the following limitations from applying to you.
and where prohibited, they will not apply to you. To find out about more rights, you should contact a local consumer advice organization. Okay, this is my favorite part of the live stream because sometimes, what I've done in the other live streams is anytime there's all caps text, like there is coming up, I just yell out the words really loudly. So, how many pages does that go on for? For more than a whole page. But let's go ahead. All right. Ready? 7.2. You expressly acknowledge and agree that to the extent permitted by applicable law, use of the watchOS software and any services performed by or accessed through the watchOS software is at your sole risk, and that the entire risk as to satisfactory quality, performance, accuracy, and effort is with you. 7.3. To the maximum extent permitted by applicable law, the watchOS software and services are provided as is and as available, with all faults and without warranty of any kind, and Apple and Apple's licensors, collectively referred to as Apple for the purposes of Section 7 and 8, hereby disclaim all warranties and conditions with respect to the watchOS software and services, either express, implied, or statute. It happened again. It happened again. Phone freaked out. Is it still good? I think it is. Let's keep doing this. Is it working? Do I have the voice installation? That's why. Oh, I should keep standard from now on. All right, that was my mistake. I hope you heard the first 6 pages, but okay. Implied or gratuitory, including but not limited to the implied warranty and or conditions of manageability, satisfactory quality, fitness for a particular purpose, accuracy, quiet enjoyment, non-infringement of third-party rights. 7.4. Apple does not warrant against interference with your enjoyment of watchOS software and services. That the functions contained in or services performed or provided by the watchOS software will meet your requirements. That the operation of the watchOS software and services will be uninterrupted or error-free. That... wait, hold on. Is my... Okay, I can still see the live stream. Okay, never mind. Where was I at? 7.4. Apple does not warrant against interference with your enjoyment of the watchOS software and services. That the functions contained in or services performed or provided by the watchOS software will meet your requirements. That the operation of the watchOS software and services will be uninterrupted or error-free. That any service will continue to be made available. That defects in the watchOS software or services will be corrected. Or that the watchOS software will be compatible or work with any third-party software, applications, or third-party services. Installation of this watchOS software may affect the availability and usability of third-party software, applications, or third-party services, as well as Apple products and services. 7.5. You further acknowledge that the watchOS software and services are not intended or suitable for use in any situations or environments where the failure or time delays of or errors, inaccuracies in the content, data, or information provided by the watchOS software or services could lead to death, personal injury, or severe physical or environmental damage, including without limitation the operation of nuclear facilities, aircraft navigation or communication systems, air traffic control, life support, or weapon systems. 7.6. No oral or written information or advice given by Apple or an Apple authorized representative shall create a warranty. Should the watchOS software or services prove defective, you assume the entire cost of all necessary servicing, repair, or correction. Some jurisdictions do not allow the exclusion of implied warranties or limitations on applicable statutory rights of a consumer, so the above exclusion and limitations may not apply to you. Oh, God. 8. Limitation of liability. To the extent not prohibited by applicable law, in no event shall Apple, its affiliates, agents, or principals be liable for personal injury or any incidental, special, indirect, or consequential damages whatsoever, including without limitation damages for loss of profits, corruption, or loss of data, failure to transmit or receive any data, including without limitation course instructions, assignments and materials, business interruption, or any other commercial damages or losses arising out of or related to your use or inability to use the watchOS software and services or any third-party software, applications, or services in conjunction with the watchOS software or services, however caused, regardless of the theory regardless of the theory of liability, contract, tort, or otherwise, and even if Apple has been advised of the possibility of such damages. Some jurisdictions do not allow the exclusion or limitation of liability for personal injury or of incidental or consequential damages, so this limitation may not apply to you. In no event shall Apple's total liability to you for all damages other than as may be required by applicable law in cases involving personal injury exceed the amount of $250. U.S$$250.00. The foregoing limitations will apply even if the above stated remedy fails of its essential purpose. Notwithstanding any other terms in this license, if the Consumer Contract Act of Japan applies, terms which limit Apple's liability for damages arising from breach of the contract or tort committed by Apple shall not apply if such damage is due to Apple's intentional misconduct or gross negligence. Wow. 9. Export control. You may not use or otherwise export or re-export the watchOS software except as authorized by the United States law and laws of the jurisdictions in which the watchOS software was obtained. In particular, but without limitation, the watchOS software may not be exported or re-exported A, into any U.S. embargoed countries, or B, to anyone on the U.S. Treasury Department's list of specially designated nationals, or the U.S. Department of Commerce denied persons list or entity list, or any other restricted party lists. By using the watchOS software, you represent and warrant that you are not located in any such country or on any such list. You also agree that you will not use the watchOS software for any purposes prohibited by United States law. I love this part. This always cracks me up. You also agree that you will not use the watchOS software for any purposes prohibited by United States law, including, without limitation, the development, design, manufacture, or production of missiles, nuclear, chemical, or biological weapons. Good to know, I guess? Okay. 10. Government end users. The watchOS software and related documentation are commercial items, as that term is defined at 48c.f.r. Don't know what that symbol is. 2.101, consisting of commercial computer software and commercial computer software documentation. As such terms are used in 48c.f.r. Don't know what that symbol is. 12.212 or 48c.f.r. Don't know what that symbol is. 227.7202. As applicable, consistent with 48c.f.r. Don't know what that symbol is. 12.212 or 48c.f.r. Don't know what that symbol is. 227.7202-1 through 227.7202-4 as applicable. The commercial computer software and commercial computer software documentation are being licensed to U.S. government and users, A, only as commercial items, and B, with only those rights as are guaranteed to all other end users pursuant to the terms and conditions herein. Unpublished rights reserved under the copyright laws of the United States. Okay, what are some other Evan Craft GC. I wanted to use an Apple Watch to control Inferno's nuclear arsenal. Or maybe to build more missiles, but I can't do that either. I can't even use it for genetic engineering. How sad. Please note that this is all a joke. Okay. 11. Controlling law and severability. This license will be governed by and constructed in accordance with the laws of the state of California, excluding its conflict of law principles. This license shall not be governed by the United Nations Convention on Contracts for the International Sale of Goods, the application of which is expressly excluded. If you are a consumer based in the United Kingdom, this license will be governed by the laws of the jurisdiction of your residence. If for any reason a court of competent jurisdiction finds any provision or portion thereof to be unenforceable, the remainder of this license shall continue in full force and effect. 12. Complete agreement governing language. This license constitutes the entire agreement between you and Apple relating to the watchOS software and supersedes all prior or contemporaneous understandings regarding such subject matter. No amendment to or modification of this license will be binding unless in writing and signed by Apple. Any translation of this license is done for local requirements and in the event of a dispute between the English and any non-English versions. The English version of this license shall govern to the extent not prohibited by local law in your jurisdiction. 13. Third-party acknowledgments. Portions of the watchOS software may utilize or include third-party software and other copyrighted material. Acknowledgments, licensing terms, and disclaimers for such material are contained in the electronic documentation for the watchOS software, and your use of such material is governed by their respective terms. EA 1807, July 8th, 2022. Okay, so this is not for the latest version of watchOS specifically, but it's the one that comes with the latest version of watchOS because they haven't updated it. But Evan Kraft, what do you mean it's a joke? Uh-oh. Okay. One more section. No, wait. No, that's not the last section. Hold on. Okay, so we read the Apple watchOS software license agreement, but now we have to read the Apple Pay supplemental terms and conditions, and then we have to read the notices from Apple. Perfect. Okay. Whoa. Okay. Apple Pay and Wallet supplemental terms and conditions. These Apple Pay and Wallet supplemental terms and conditions, these supplemental terms, supplement the Apple watchOS software license agreement. The license, both the terms of the license and these supplemental terms, govern your use of the Apple Pay feature, Apple Pay, and Apple Wallet application wallet on your Apple Watch, which shall be deemed a service under the license. Capitalized terms used in these supplemental terms have the meaning set forth in the license. Overview. Apple Pay. Apple Pay allows you to make contactless payments using credit, debit, and prepaid cards, including Apple Card and the Apple Cash Card in select locations or within select apps or websites, and send person-to-person payments to other Apple Cash users. Apple Pay and certain features of Apple Pay may only be available in select regions with select card issuers, payment networks, merchants, and other third parties. Wallet. Apple Wallet allows you to store virtual representations of credit, debit, and prepaid cards to be used with Apple Pay. Collectively, Apple Pay cards, as well as other types of cards, passes, and keys, including without limitation the following: collectively, Wallet passes, and together with Apple Pay cards, the supported cards: rewards cards, transit cards, tickets, membership passes, car keys, home keys, hospitality keys, corporate badges, student ID cards, and driver's license last week, just like we always talked about. 'Cause you were so excited for me to finally drive up to your house, but today I drove through the suburbs. Womp womp. Okay. And state or government issued identification cards, ID cards. Wallet passes may only be available in select regions and with select partners. ID cards may only be available for residents of participating states, and presentment may vary by state or location. Supported cards may change from time to time. Alright, just about 4 more pages to go. Eligibility: to use Apple Pay and Wallet, you must have 1. A supported Apple Watch running a version of operating software that supports the services, latest version recommended and sometimes required. 2. An Apple ID associated with an iCloud account that is in good standing with Apple. And 3. Internet access fees may apply. With the exception of Apple Cash Family and select e-money cards, Apple Pay cards are only available to individuals aged 13 years or older, and may be subject to additional age-based restrictions imposed by iCloud or the relevant issuer, merchant, or other third party. Please excuse me for a moment. Alright, I'm back. Let's continue. Um, if you are a parent or legal guardian of an iCloud family and organizer, you may invite family members, including those under age 13 or the equivalent minimum age in the applicable country, to provision and use eligible transit cards and wallet. As the organizer, you will be responsible for all payments, purchases, and transactions made using the transit card that has been enabled for family members, including those initiated by the family member. Eligibility for and use of transit cards and wallet are subject to the terms and conditions of the relevant transit agency. Organizers are responsible for complying with such terms and conditions and assume all risks related to enabling transit passes with other family members. When a family member leaves or is removed from the family member will no longer be able to reload the transit card and only will be able to transact on the card until such time as the card account balance is 0. If you are the owner of a car key, you can share your car key with others aged 13 years or older so they can unlock, access, and / or drive your car. Why is a 13-year-old driving your car? Please tell me. Why is a 13-year-old driving your car? That is very hazardous. Extremely hazardous. Oh, excuse me. Hold on. Hi again. Alright. Home keys can only be added or removed from wallet by adding or removing locks in the home app or adding or removing yourself from a home in the home app. If you are the administrator of a home in the home app, any existing home keys will be automatically shared with people whom you have invited and who join your home. How many times is the word home said in those two sentences? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's too many mentions of the word home. Actually, no, it's 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Apple Card is only available in the United States and is issued by Goldman Sachs Bank USA, Salt Lake City branch Apple Card issuer. With the exception of Apple Card Family, Apple Card is only available to individuals aged 18 or older depending on your state of residence. The Apple Cash Card and the ability to send and receive person-to-person payments are only available in the United States and are services provided by Green Dot Bank, member FDIC. In order to send or receive person-to-person payments in Apple Pay, you must have an Apple Cash Card. With the exception of Apple Cash Family, the Apple Cash Card and the ability to send and receive person-to-person payments are only available to individuals aged 18 or older. Alright. 3. Use of the services. Supported cards and person-to-person payments are associated with the Apple ID that you have signed into iCloud to use these features. When you add or remove keys, give me a moment. Why is YouTube Studio on my iPad is crashing so much? I click one button and the website just crashes, which is really weird. But okay. Supported cards and person-to-person payments are associated with the Apple ID that you have signed into iCloud to use these features. When you add or remove keys, corporate badges, reward cards, tickets, and membership passes and wallet, the change may appear on your other Apple devices where you are signed in with your Apple ID. You will only be able to associate one ID card for each state issuing authority with each Apple ID. Apple Pay and Wallet are intended for your personal use, and you may only provision your own supported cards or those transit cards or car and home keys that you have been invited to provision from an organizer or owner. If you are provisioning a supported corporate card, you represent that you are doing so with the authorization of your employer, and you are authorized to bind your employer to these terms of use and all transactions affected by use of this feature. If you are sending or receiving a person-to-person payment, you represent that you are doing so for your own personal, non-commercial use. If you are provisioning an ID card, you represent that you are doing so using your own personal information that accurately and truthfully represents you. You agree not to use Apple Pay or Wallet for illegal or fraudulent purposes, or any other purposes which are prohibited by the license and the supplemental terms. You further agree to use Apple Pay and Wallet in accordance with applicable laws and regulations. You acknowledge that any false information submitted in connection with an ID card may be a criminal offense under federal or state law. You agree not to interfere with or disrupt the Apple Pay or Wallet service, including accessing the service through any automated means, or any servers or networks connected to the service, or any policies, requirements, or regulations of networks connected to the service, including any unauthorized access to, use, or monitoring the data of traffic thereon. If your access to or use of Apple Pay or Wallet is prohibited by applicable law, you are not authorized to access or use these services. We are not responsible if you access or use the services in any manner that violates applicable law. 4. Apple's relationship with you. Because Apple is also thankful. Your use of Apple Pay will be governed by these supplemental terms, as well as by the terms of the cardholder agreement you have in place with the relevant issuer, merchant, or other third party responsible for your Apple Pay card. Similarly, your use of wallet passes and wallet will be governed by these supplemental terms, as well as by the terms of your agreement with the relevant merchant, transit agency, car, and lock manufacturer, university, hotel, resort, cruise line corporation, state issuing authority, or other third party. With the exception of certain features of Apple Pay provided by Apple Payments Inc., Apple Payments, described below, Apple does not process payments or any other non-payment transactions made under Apple Pay cards. Apple has no control over and is not responsible for any payments, chargebacks, returns, refunds, rewards, value, discounts, access, identity verification, orders, order fulfillment, or other activity that may arise out of your use of Apple Pay or Wallet. If there is any conflict between the terms of these supplemental terms in your agreement with a relevant issuer, merchant, state issuing authority, or other third party, each a third party agreement, the terms of these supplemental terms will govern your relationship with Apple, and the terms of the relevant third party agreement will govern your relationship with such third party. You agree that Apple is not a party to any of your third party agreements, nor is Apple responsible for A, the content, accuracy, or availability of any supported cards, purchases, transactions, orders, order fulfillment, receipts, or other activities while using Apple Pay or Wallet, including without limitation those made by family members or others with whom you have shared your supported cards or have access to your Apple Watch. B, the issuance of credit or accessing eligibility for credit, the issuance, suspension, or revocation of a driver's license or state identification card. D, activities of issuers, merchants, or other third parties related to your use of Apple Pay or Wallet. E, decisions made by an issuer, merchant, or other third party in connection with adding your supported card to wallet. F, your membership or participation in any merchant or partner program. G, any accrual or redemption of rewards or stored value in connection with your supported cards. H, funding or reloading of prepaid supported cards. I, sending or receiving of person-to-person payments. Or J, loading, redeeming, or withdrawing money from your Apple Cash card. All right, that's 2 more pages, and we're done. I think we're on for a record, unless the Windows 11 live stream was shorter than this. Okay. When you apply for Apple Card, you are applying to open an account with the Apple Card issuer. The financial institution responsible for offering Apple Card is subject to change, and your use of Apple Card is subject to their terms and conditions. When you enable the Apple Cash features within Apple Pay, you are opening an account with Green Dot Bank. With the exception of the features of Apple Pay provided by Apple Payments, when you send or receive a person-to-person payment or load or withdraw money from your Apple Cash card, the Green Dot Bank will be responsible for receiving and sending your money to the intended recipient. The financial institution responsible for offering Apple Cash and person-to-person payments within Apple Pay is subject to change, and your use of such features are subject to their terms and conditions. The ability to use funds in your Apple Cash card to make payments to certain eligible businesses that you authorize the direct payment service is a service provided by Apple Payments. Your use of the direct payment service is subject to Apple Payments direct payments terms and conditions. Additionally, certain eligible businesses may allow you to authorize them to disburse funds to your Apple Cash card, each a disbursement. While disbursements may be processed by Apple Payments, they are offered by the participating businesses that provide such funds and may be subject to certain additional terms and the conditions of the disbursing businesses. For all disputes or questions about supported cards or associated commerce activity, please contact your issuer or the applicable merchant, state issuing authority, or other third party. For questions regarding Apple Pay, Wallet, Apple Card, or the Apple Cash Card in person or person-to-person payments, please contact Apple support. 5. Privacy. Apple's collection of use and personal information is governed by the Apple's collection and use of personal information is governed by the Apple privacy policy, available at https://www.apple.com/legal/privacy/en/www/period. You can find detailed information on the personal information collected, used, or shared as part of your use of Apple Pay and Wallet by reading the relevant service-specific privacy notices, including about Apple Pay and privacy, which can be accessed within the Watch app on a paired device, or by visiting https://www.apple.com/legal/privacy/en/www/period. By using Apple Pay and Wallet, you agree and consent to Apple subsidiaries and agents' transmission, collection, maintenance, processing, and use of all the foregoing information to provide these services. 6. Security, lost, or disabled devices. Protecting your Apple Watch and credentials like you would protect your physical wallet and cards. Apple Pay and Wallet store virtual representations of your supported cards and should be protected as you would protect your physical wallet, keys, or credit, debit, prepaid, identity, and other cards. You are solely responsible for maintaining the security of your Apple Watch and your Apple ID, the passcode to your Apple Watch, and any other authentication credentials and used in connection with the services, collectively your credentials. If you authorize or allow anyone else to use your Apple Watch, example, by providing your device passcode to a third party or otherwise providing any of your credentials to a third party, the person may be able to make payments, send, request, or receive person-to-person payments, withdraw money from your Apple Cash Card, receive or redeem rewards, use value, unlock, or otherwise access your car, room, office, or home, impersonate your identity, or make other transactions with your supported cards and wallet. In such event, you will be responsible for all payments, access, and transactions made by that person. Jailbroken devices! If you make unauthorized modifications to your Apple Watch, such as by disabling hardware or software controls, sometimes referred to as jailbreaking, your device may no longer be eligible to access or use its services. You acknowledge that the use of a modified device in connection with the services is expressly prohibited, constitutes a violation of these supplemental terms, and is grounds for us to deny or limit your access to the services. Additional security measures. You may need to enable additional security measures such as two-factor authentication for your Apple ID in order to access particular features of Apple Pay, including Apple Card, the Apple Cash Card, and person-to-person payments with Apple Pay. If you subsequently remove those security features, you may not be able to continue to access particular features of Apple Pay. Lost or stolen devices. If your Apple Watch is lost or stolen and you have Find My enabled, you can use Find My to attempt to suspend the ability to transact with the virtual supported cards or sending person-to-person payments on that device by putting it into lost mode. If your Apple Watch is in lost mode, your car key may be disabled in Wallet and you will no longer be able to access or start your car once you have left the vehicle or turned off the engine. Lost mode only affects keys on the lost device. If you are the owner, you will no longer be able to share your car key or home key with others, but keys that have already been shared with others will not be impacted from their Apple devices. You can also erase your device, which will attempt to suspend the ability to transact with the virtual supported cards or send person-to-person payments on the device. You should also contact the issuer, merchant, or other responsible third party of your supported cards or Apple in the case of your Apple Card or Apple Cash Card, in order to prevent unauthorized access to your supported cards on Apple Pay and in Wallet. If you report or Apple suspects fraudulent or abusive activity, you agree to cooperate with Apple in any investigation and to use any fraud prevention measures we prescribe. All right, final stretch. 7. Limitation of liability. In addition to the disclaimers of warranties and limitation of liability set forth in the license, Apple does not assume any liability for purchases, payments, orders, order fulfillment, receipt, information, identity verification, transactions, or other activity made using Apple Pay or Wallet, and you agree to look solely to agreements you may have with your card issuer, payment network, financial institutions, merchant, state issuing authority, or other applicable third party to resolve any questions or disputes relating to your supported cards, person-to-person payments, and associated activities. Dash 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 dash. Notices from Apple. If Apple needs to contact you about product or account, you consent to receive the notices by email. You agree that any such notices that we send you electronically will satisfy any legal communication requirements. Bunch of underlines, iCloud logo, iCloud. And that, my friends, is the end of the watchOS 10.2 Beta 3 terms and conditions.
I did it.
Once again. And yeah, I stopped at 1 hour, 9 minutes, and approximately 29 seconds, because it shows 38 on my display, but it's been 9 seconds since I actually finished. So,
yeah, that's
kind of fun. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this live stream. If you sat through the whole thing, which I know would have been pretty hard to do. So thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and also comment down below what you thought of this live stream. And I'll see you in another video.